Well, the biggest thing, if you're doing any sort of promotion on social media or really creating any sort of content, whatever you produce has to be super useful for your audience. And a lot of what the success that I've had over the years has come back to understanding, what does my audience care about? What do they need? What do they want more of from me? So I've learned a lot about my audience over the years. One big way for me is actually through my welcome series. When somebody signs up for the Not a Newsletter email list, I send you an email right away to say, hey, Dan, 2 questions for you. Do you have a newsletter, and what is it? And what are you struggling with when it comes to newsletters? Hit reply, I want to hear from you. And there's 2 reasons for this. One is, I just know from working and talking with deliverability experts in this space, if I can get people to engage with my newsletters right away, that makes sure that I stay out of the spam folder and the good parts of the inbox. But more importantly for me, it's an opportunity to learn. As soon as somebody signs up, someone can hit reply and they can say, hey, Dan, I'm struggling with growth. Hey, Dan, I need help picking the right email service provider. Hey, Dan, I'm thinking about how we can launch another newsletter, but I'm not sure what stats I should be looking at or metrics we should care about. And that is really useful because I get real-time feedback from the audience about what they need, what they want more of. And about 1 in 5 readers, it's a stat that I've tracked over the years, about 1 in 5 readers writes back to me. I've tried a lot of things. Now, just recently, I updated the message after somebody signs up to say, hey, I have these 2 questions. I genuinely want to know them. Like, I actually reply to all the emails people send. Please check them and reply. I think a lot of people, especially in the line of work that we are in, are used to seeing lots of deliverability hacks and tricks. And so they think it's just, me trying to get a reply to tell the Gmail algorithm, Dan, my emails are good. It's like, no, I actually genuinely want to know this. This is not me trying to hack the system. I'm using this to learn. I like starting conversations with readers. It happens all the time where a reader will write back and I'll share a link and they'll ask a question. The welcome email will turn into a days or weeks long email thread with this person asking questions, going back and forth. I don't mind. I'm happy to share stuff. Again, a lot of what I do comes out of how can I help this community? How can I be useful? And so whatever you're doing on social media or other channels, understanding what people need from you is crucial. I use the welcome series. I use a survey that I do in my newsletter to try to understand, okay, this is what people say they want more of. This is the feedback that I'm getting. These are the questions that I'm being asked. Let's try to go out and produce stuff to answer those questions, to serve those reader needs, to help this community. So no matter what you're doing, 1, the content has to be really good. 2, it has to match up with what your audience wants. And some of this comes back to when I'm doing a pitch on social media, creating a new checklist or lead magnet, launching a new article, trying to make sure that I'm positioning the content in a way that it explains what the problem is and how this thing that I made is going to help solve that problem or make somebody smarter or teach something new that they might want to learn. I found that if you're just going about it saying, there are times where you can say, hey, I'm launching this new thing. It's great. It's exciting. I hope you'll check it out. But if every day I just go on social media and go, I have a newsletter, please sign up for it, at some point people will tune that out. So it's about thinking, okay, well, what am I bringing to the table that's going to be useful? And how do I make sure I explain to this audience, I made this thing, here's why I think you'll like it. Or I have this thing, there's this problem out there, I'm trying to solve it, check this out. And so much of this comes back to audience listening, understanding the audience's needs, and then trying to match the content and the way I talk about it on social media to line up and show the audience, this is why this is worth their time. This is why I think you should spend a few minutes with this thing. It's going to solve a need. It's going to fix a problem. It's going to teach you something new. Here it is.